Greetings. We are developing a series that will help people to become acquainted with the practice of Tai Chi, or as it is actually, Tai Chi Chuan. Originally, Tai Chi Chuan was a martial art that was quite famous when it was developed. The practitioners were fighters, warriors, etc., etc. The practice of Tai Chi Chuan developed over many hundreds of years, and now pretty much everywhere it has become a help. So I like to call it a martial health practice instead of a martial arts practice. However, having a little bit of understanding of what it was as a martial art helps us to hone our own practice to that point. The martial artists developed a way of moving the body, which we think of as optimal, and therefore we can transform that into a health art. Tai Chi Chuan was known as an internal martial art as opposed to an external martial art. So internal martial art meant learning from the inside out, and an external martial art was from the outside in. That's why the relaxation aspect of Tai Chi developed, because the inside part was soft, relaxed, in order to bring forward the efficiency of the ligaments, tendons, bones, and alignment. So the practitioners knew how to align the body. So it's been handed down to us as a technique for the same thing. We just don't employ it for fighting purposes. External martial arts were things like Wing Chun and White Crane and the sorts of things that you see the people doing in movies and so forth, Bruce Lee being the most notable, of course, as a practitioner of Wing Chun, and that was learned from the outside in, so to speak. It's a interesting distinction for us. We're setting off on a journey to learn Tai Chi as a martial health practice. And I like to think of this as once we begin, we are no longer beginners. Everything in Tai Chi is advanced. The most important part, though, is to have an understanding, hopefully, of what it is doing beyond simply moving the body in a smooth, effortless, and relaxed manner. That what we are actually doing is gathering and nourishing qi. Gathering and nourishing qi. Qi being our internal energy. Qi being that which is the generator of our life force, our well-being, our sense of well-being. So, of course, by now most people know that in some way, shape, or form that acupuncture is performed on the body to open up the channels of the meridians. We're doing it with the breath. And that is where we need to start. We need to start with the breath. The breath is perhaps the most important aspect. Breath, well, I say things like the most important aspect, but there are many important aspects, so we can't actually rank them by their sense of importance. let's just say it's the starting point, and it's the place of beginning, and it's the place of ending, just as breath is the place of beginning when we're born, and it's the place of ending when we die. And in between, we want to be able to stay here as long as possible. I have hopes that that's what everybody wants, and that's why gathering and nourishing our chi, our basic life force, is important. So we start with breathing. We start with breathing in the abdomen. We start with changing from upper lobe breathing to full lobe breathing. This comes under many different names. In meditation, it's often called belly breathing. So when we inhale, the belly expands, and when we exhale, the belly descends. Inhaling, the belly expands, and exhaling, the belly descends. Now, when I say it, it might be quite easy for people. However, most of the time, we are employing upper lobe breathing. If you watch people, as I do quite often, when they are sitting or I'm in an audience or something like that, what I see is that when a person breathes in, this part of their body, the chest, is what expands and descends. When I breathe in, see, I'm taking a big breath, so I feel filling here. And when I breathe out, I feel emptying. And this isn't moving at all. Full lobe breathing more fully involves the diaphragm. And so it increases the lung capacity. This has been shown in a lot of various experiments that have been done on Tai Chi, with Tai Chi practitioners, not done on them, with Tai Chi practitioners and with meditators. Some of the videos that you see out of Stanford University of the monks breathing and so on and so forth, and they're so calm when they hear a gunshot right next to their ear and don't move a muscle, don't show any reaction. That's because breath. This breath up here, upper lobe breathing, is considered to be the breath of reaction. When a loud noise happens, we go like this. You can do it any time. Check it out. This breath here is called the breath of action. So between now and the time we finish doing these introductory lessons, we will revisit this. Let us just say that in the beginning, the more that we can employ full lobe breathing and you can feel the belly rising and falling, the better off you will be. So this goes to the next step, and that is the 2 fingers below the navel. Here's my navel. The 2 fingers below there is called the dantian. The dantian. This is actually the lower dantian. There's 3. 1, 2, 3. Lower, middle, upper dantian. For now, we're focusing simply on the lower dantian. That's the one, that is where we picture in the core of the body. Put a drop line down through the top of your head, down into the core of your body, right to this point. Can't slice it here. And that is seen as the place where chi gathers. You can picture it as a chalice, as a pool, as a lotus. Chi gathers in the dantian, in the core of the body, on the in-breath, and circulates on the out-breath. So it's not as though it empties and fills and empties and fills. It's like a bird bath or like a pool that has water circulating. When we're doing lower lobe breathing, when we are doing belly breathing, the circulation is enhanced. The circulation is enhanced. And that's exactly what acupuncture does for you. We're doing it for ourselves. And there's other ways of helping the qi to circulate. However, next point, and this is the part about, this is where we employ the yi, the yi, the yi. So the yi is sometimes translated from the Chinese as intention. It also can be translated as the imagination. And the imagination means the creative aspect of consciousness. The same way that a great artist creates something like the Mona Lisa or the statue or any great work of art begins with the imagination and then is brought into the reality by the artist. We're doing the same thing. We are using the imagination to make a picture. I don't like the word visualization, so you'll pardon me for using the word picture. Image, out of imagination, image of this qi circulating throughout the body. This is another important aspect, and we use it while we're moving. We'll get to that part. So yi and qi are an integral part of the practice. And further, there's another aspect, and that aspect is Shen, S-H-E-N. And Shen is generally translated as spirit. And by spirit, we don't mean spirits, we don't mean something celestial, we don't mean something that is what we might often in the Western world immediately pop into our mind when we use the word spirit. Although, in some ways, when you talk about team spirit, that's the kind of thing that we're talking about. We're talking about a sense of well-being. That's what spirit, that's Shen. That's the Shen aspect of qi. Yi and qi combine to activate Shen. Can also be thought of as our charisma. Shen is this. Shen is like when you're at a party and somebody walks into the room and everybody's head kind of turns this way. It's their charisma, it's their spirit, it's their Shen, it's their sense of self and energy. Yi and qi combine to activate Shen. So when all of these three aspects come together in our exercise, when we're moving the body, this is when we're gathering and nourishing our qi. Gathering and nourishing our qi. So the last thing, before we do a little moving here, the last thing is, let me see, I think I've forgotten what it was I was going to say. So where are we gathering? Where are we gathering this qi? It's another yi aspect, and that is we are gathering it from the universal qi. The universal qi is all of the energy which is around us. The universal qi is everything that you see that's invisible. We're constantly being bombarded by infrared rays, ultraviolet rays, protons, neutrons, all the energy that's like rocketing through the universe that we don't see, except if we use special instruments and so forth. That is the aspect of universal qi. That's the aspect of what we can, in fact, bring in. Generally speaking, it's seen as entering through the solar plexus and then cascading down into the dantian and then circulating throughout the body. So when we are in utero, we are given qi by the mother. That's our natal chi, our natal chi. And our natal chi is with us when we're born. During our lifetime, that chi is expended. When chi is all expended, it's the time we go back to the big Tao, or wherever you think of, whatever you think of as what happens when we die. Therefore, it is a good practice to replenish our chi so that we can be here longer and be healthy. Let's start with a simple breathing exercise. There are lots of ways, lots of things that are done before one starts to practice, before one starts to move. This is one of them. There's in general, there's a set of exercises called the silk brocades. And we'll go into the silk brocades in another episode of this series. For now, I want to share with you something that it's called the elemental chi breathing practice, working with the chi of the elements of the ancients and the chi aspects of the earth. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Those back in Roman and Greek times, the philosophers felt that everything in the universe consisted of those 5 energies. And doesn't take much to translate that into chi aspects of everything that's around us, even though now we know that elements are different and we look at them differently scientifically. However, doesn't mean that it doesn't have some validity to it. So we're going to start by breathing the chi of the earth. Breathing the chi of the earth. Now, when we stand, we're doing a standing practice in Qigong, Tai Chi. Turn the toes in a little bit, just slightly. I'm a little bit with my toes turned in. And then soften the knees so that you're not standing ramrod stiff and straight, because that'll cut off the circulation in your legs and you become unstable. And tuck a little bit at the base of the spine. And take your chin in just a tiny bit. This ensures that the crown chakra, the Bao Hui, is the highest point. The Bao Hui, the crown chakra, is another place where energy comes in. When we use the yi and bottoms of the feet, so I'm feeling my feet nicely, toe to heel, weight is even. Breathing in and out the nose, the chi of the earth. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. In general, when I'm doing this practice, I tend to do no more than 5, anywhere from 3 to 5. In breath, out breath. And energy is entering through the bottoms of the feet. There's an acupuncture point called the bubbling well right in the middle, in the instep. Energy enters up from the earth to the top of the head, and then down, back to the planet. Then rest here and breathe for a moment. And arms up this way, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. This is the chi of the waters of the planet. Water chi. In through the top of the head and out through the solar plexus. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in, breathing out. In breath as the arms go up. which is a general rule in Tai Chi. Out breath as the arms come down. One more. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then come down to the rest position, breathing naturally. We turn to the fire, element of fire, the chi of fire. Breathing in through the mouth and out through the nose. In through the mouth and out through the nose. Sipping the air, like sipping through a straw. In through the mouth. Out through the nose. You can even use a color if you like colors. This color of the fire chi is red. And it's the fire of the interior of the planet, the core of the planet, not the sun. Rest position, natural breathing. We turn to the element of air, breathing in and out the mouth. Color is blue. Breathing in, breathing out. They reach back, like this. Breathing in, breathing out. In breath going forward, out breath going back. In breath going forward, and out breath going back. And then rest position. Move back and forth a little bit so that the legs don't go to sleep. You don't want to cut off the circulation in your lower body. Relax. And finally, we turn to the element of ether. Ether has no color or luminous black. And we turn to breathing in and out the nose. Very refined breath, like you're breathing with your skin. In breath. Out breath. In breath. Out breath. Feel the magnetic field, your aura, your chi field. It extends beyond your skin. Expanding, contracting. Gathering and condensing. One more. And one more, and this time hold your breath. And roll your tongue and touch the roof of your mouth. Release the tongue and release the breath. Now, touching the tongue to the roof of your mouth, the chi comes over the top of the head. We'll talk about this at some point, and it divides here. And then by touching with the tongue, you simply enhance that it coalesces and comes back to the dantian. See? That's one of the pathways. Up the spine, over the top of the head, back to the dantian. Our practice is a series of moves, a series of postures that move through a choreography. Yoga is a series of postures, but they're more static. Here, we learn the postures, and then we take them through smoothly and evenly in a relaxed manner, and we move over a period of time. Time plus effort and our yi, our imagination and breath, all build Shen. We're going to do some of the postures seated first, and then we'll get up and move with the postures. Some years ago, I had a morning class outdoors, and it was very great class, a lot of really interesting participants. And one morning, a person showed up in a wheelchair. She had a leg amputation at the hip due to an automobile accident. And she said, Bonnie said, do you think I could learn Tai Chi sitting in my wheelchair? And I said, sure, no problem. Just come back as often as you would like if it works for you. And she said, okay. And then when I went home, I thought, oh, I wonder if what I said is real or not. Can you really practice in a wheelchair? And so I had to try it myself. I got a stool and went through the whole form, seated on the stool. And yes, it works. And she is still practicing. And it is fun to practice seated. Actually, there are some videos on YouTube that you can see. Most of them are kind of mechanical. And there's one where there's like 50 people and they're all moving at the same time, and they're moving like, looks more like a stop action animation than it does like real people moving. So we don't want to do that. Here's what we want to do. So hands here to begin with. Turn your attention to your breath. If you were looking at this on a television screen or something, I want you to mirror exactly what I do. Mirror exactly what I do. I'm doing it left-handed. If you mirror me, you'll be doing it right-handed. Most Tai Chi is done, if not all Tai Chi is done, right-handed. So I've taught myself to do it left-handed as well as right-handed so that I can balance out the energies. So here we go. So hands climbing the mountain, down to the Jade Plateau. Right hand forward, left hand goes out to the side. Scholar points the way. This posture is called Scholar Points the Way. Reach under with your left hand and make a big round ball. And spread the silk brocade. Left hand palm up, right hand palm down. Spreading the silk brocade. Close the gate. Right hand front of the body, left hand by the ear, and then grasp the bird's tail, looking into the palm of your left hand, pressing with the palm of your right hand. And then overturn. Left hand palm up, right hand palm down, come back and touch your wrist with your middle finger. Turn the arm over and press forward, left and right together. Wipe off. And come back and push with two palms like this. And then this posture, playing the lute. So we're going to repeat. Repetition is the mother of learning in this case. Inhale coming up. Exhale coming down. Scholar points the way. Carry the ball. Spread the silk brocade. Close the gate. Grasp the bird's tail. Release. Come back. Right hand palm down, left hand palm up, touch. Press forward, left and right together. Yield. So in doing this repeated learning and so forth, what keeps it from being rote and automatic? What keeps it from being rote and automatic is breath and the yi, energy, up, down, point, carry, spread, close, grasp, overturn, and you'll notice that I'm not just a rock statue in my chair. I'm rocking a little bit. My waist turns, and I do this a number of times so that I get the feel, my body begins to understand what the flow is, what the postures are, carrying the ball, spreading the silk brocade, closing the gate, grasping the bird's tail, overturn, come back and touch, press forward, left and right together, wipe off, roll back, push with two palms, play the lute, and one more. This move is called brush knee, push palm. Brush knee, push palm. Once, twice, 3 times. And play the lute. Now we do it standing. Again, I'm projecting toward you. Eventually, the routine, the choreography goes from side to side. But first we're going to learn forward and backward so that we know what the postures are and what the movements are. And then we can go side to side. It's an interesting way to learn. And again, I'm going to do it left-handed, so you're doing it right-handed if you are following along with me looking at the video. Up the mountain. Flex the knees, come down to the jade table. Step back, left leg. Scholar points the way. Press forward and carry the ball. And spread the silk brocade. Close the gate. Grasp the bird's tail. Release. Come back and touch. And press forward, left and right together. And roll back, breathing in. And push with 2 palms. And then come back on your right bending leg and play the lute. And now we're going to do 3 brush knee push palm. 1. 2. 3. And play the lute. And then pause. Now you will notice that we have a way of standing or a way of moving. It's called the bow and arrow. Forward leg is the bow, rear leg is the arrow. If I change, this becomes the bow, and this becomes the arrow, the bow and arrow. In Chinese systems of exercise, whether it's an internal or an external exercise, everything from here down is called your horse. So, and here is like the rider up here. So the rider is on, I like to think of this more like a chariot down here, but it's generally called the horse. So this is also called a forward horse position. This is called a standing horse position. A standing horse. Horses have strong legs. And that's what we develop in the practice of Tai Chi. Doesn't build the muscles, it tones the muscles. Need to be really clear. Well, if your muscles are really weak, it'll build the muscles. But by and large, Tai Chi is a muscle toner, not a muscle builder. Builds your Qi, ultimately enhances your Shen, all of these things. So let's do this, just to be sure that we're all together here. This is, I'm in the forward horse position. Bow, arrow. It's also called the bow and arrow position. Draw the bow, shoot the arrow. Draw the bow, inhale, shoot the arrow. Draw the bow, shoot the arrow, doing the brush knee. Draw the bow, shoot the arrow. Now, you also may notice when I'm doing this that I have what's called a center line. If I draw my bow leg back, my heels don't touch. I have a center line. That's another aspect of the exercise, center line. This is a narrow center line, and it's like standing on a balance beam. We don't want to do that. This is like we're standing on either side of the balance beam. We're advanced, we're walking on air. The balance beam is here, and we have one leg here and one leg here. When I move, I pivot my foot, and I create a new center line, and I step forward. And I pivot my foot, and I create a new center line, and I step forward. These are foundational aspects of this practice, foundational. I don't call them basic because nothing in Tai Chi is basic. Nothing is basic, it's all advanced. Up the mountain, down to the Jade Plateau. Scholar points the way. Press forward and carry the ball. Step to your left and spread the silk brocade. Close the gate. Step forward, right leg, and grasp the bird's tail. Make your center line. Feel your center line. Feel how you're stable and rooted. Rooted. And play the lute. Brush knee, push ball. Now we need to be clear that I'm taking parts of the choreography of Tai Chi and showing you these parts in the beginning. And then eventually we string them together in the traditional choreography. But the choreography is exactly what I said. It's a tradition. That's not a divine law. It's not something that is embedded in stone. It was created, and we can be creators ourselves. So I don't always do the choreography the way it's written in the books and has been passed down over. And there's many forms. There's forms that are being, choreographies that are being developed every day. Short choreographies, long choreographies. The important aspect is that we move and we keep moving over an extended period of time. Prime is to keep moving for 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. Anything less than that, you get something out of it, but 20 minutes is optimal. It's optimal. In the beginning, we might not have that much energy to be able to do 20 minutes all at once. So what we want to do is to get the foundation right. Get the foundation right. Get the bow and arrow. Again, bow, arrow, forward horse. When I do this, spreading the super rotate, side horse, side. But regardless, I have my center line right here. Feel it. Here, here, here. In breath, lift leg, touch, out breath. In breath as I yield, and out breath as I go forward. In breath, out breath. Stepping backward. It's called monkey steps backwards. In breath, little monkey pause here. Out breath. In breath, out breath. So this is where I sometimes use a little bit of music to help with the movement. So we kind of waft on the notes that the musicians are sharing with us. But that's not a total necessity. As a matter of fact, I would venture to say that many people practice outdoors and they're more aware of the chi of nature, all of nature, that is the earth, water, fire, air, ether, and we are becoming as much embedded in that as we can, So we're expanding into the chi of the planet and drawing in the chi of the planet. So this is the E part. So this is where it comes in. What are our preferences? What is it? How does it draw us into practice? Same thing when somebody's meditating. Some people like to sit in a corner that's very quiet, face a wall. Some people go out into nature to meditate. There's even a form of chi meditation where you're standing out in nature like this and holding a position this way. It's called the universal post position. All my weight's on my rear leg. There's various forms of the universal post. This is one of them. And I'm breathing energy up through the leg and down through the top of the head and in through the middle. Like this, universal post. Or like this, universal post. See? Like this, outdoors, standing like this. Like you're holding a chalice of energy here. And breathing here. Drawing energy in through the solar plexus, the universal chi, in through the solar plexus, bottoms of the feet, top of the head, ultimately all around the body, breathing with the skin. However, these are specialized ways, so to speak. You can get drawn into them. In the meantime, what we want to do is move. We want to move. Breathing in, coming up. Breathing out, coming down. These are beginning postures that we're sharing here. Scholar points the way. Press forward to carry the ball. Step out and spread the silk brocade. Close the gate. Step forward into the bow and arrow to grasp the bird's tail. Release. Come back and touch. Press forward, left and right together. Wipe off. Roll back. Push with 2 palms. Then put your feet in line with each other in one leg position to play the lute. Release the lute position, reach back. Brush knee, push palm, step out into the bow and arrow. You roll back, pivot the forward foot, take the weight off, pivot. Step, brush knee, push palm. Roll back, pivot, breathe in, push, breathe out. Play the lute. And then do one more brush knee push palm, left-handed. There. And then to keep moving, we can step backward using the little monkey steps. Climb the mountain, down to the jade table. Scholar points the way. Smooth, relaxed, effortless, but full of life, not floppy or dumpy. Smooth, relaxed, full of chi. Like a bright light. Roll back. Push with 2 palms. Play the lute. Brush knee, push palm. Bow and arrow. Right leg forward, left leg back. Roll back. Step forward, left leg forward, right leg back. And one more. And sit back to play lute. So I move my right leg in line with my left, this one. And then I'm going to step backward, monkey steps. I'm going to go one more time. Breathe out. Breathe in as you begin to form the lute, and breathe out as you finish the posture. Keep moving. Smooth, effortless. Each step soft but firm. All the weight forward into the right bending leg, back into the left. And then we close. This move is generally given the name drawing down heaven. not the celestial heaven, not angels and so forth. It's like the chi of the universe. Yin, drawing down. It's like when you say drawing down heaven, it's like yin and yang combining, heaven and earth, bringing it in, and you close. Men do right hand over left, women do left hand over right, just below the navel. Relax the shoulders. Breathe gently. Feel the breath under the palms of your hands. This is a sealing move. I verify. Yes, the chi is there.